Hi Aries, welcome to Sophquest. My name is Spence and I'm glad to see you. If you are new, welcome in. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. If you have been a subscriber of Sophquest Synergy, my other channel, I do hope that you will now come over here. We are working here weekly with your readings, Aries through Pisces, and I would appreciate it. So yeah, subscribe. All right, thanks so much. I hope you enjoy the content. I'm going to do a reading for you today, pulling an oracle card from the Winged Enchantment deck. And this is by Leslie Morrison and artwork by Lisa Hunt. And they're all messages from birds. And because we are in Gemini season and air sign, and because this particular week, this is for the week of June 7th through the 13th, and the big news is in the middle of the week, there's a new moon solar eclipse in Gemini with a lot of other planets in Gemini about all of us beginning something that is going to grow us, to open our minds and really open our consciousness and help us to learn in a way that is more, I would say, holistic, both left and right brain, right? So Aries, it's a good, very, very good week. The energies are amazing, but they're mutable, right? Gemini is a mutable sign about change, about being flexible and adaptable through change, which allows us to see things through new perspectives. So that, I think, is what you're going to feel. This new moon that is a solar eclipse in Gemini won't happen again for another 9 years. It's a big time for learning. So I hope you'll be open-minded and take in new things, because I think that's where you're headed for your new beginning. All right, so let's pull you a card from the Winged Enchantment deck today, Aries, and we'll read it for you because I am honoring the spoken and written word in Gemini season. And I think reading these messages by these writers that don't often get any airtime is a really good idea for now. All right, but mark your calendar for June 10th. That is a big solar eclipse new moon, which is always a beginning. And in Gemini, it's about the beginning of a new way of thinking, a new way of learning, a new way of telling ourselves the narrative of our own lives. So it can really be transformational. It can help us to go through a personal renaissance, right? And look at things in a new way, maybe. You get the duck, okay, Aries, duck. Aries for the week of June 7th through the 13th. Number 9, the duck. I'm going to read for you. Okay. The duck. All right, Aries. Let's do it this way. Okay, Aries. I am duck, the complexity of emotion. Okay? I'm the master of the undercurrents. I am healing. I am the healing of the heart. I am the surge of inner motivations. You need to be aware of what drives you. What feelings are pushing you forward? Which ones are drowning your progress? I am a creature of navigational purpose. You have to learn when to dive deeper and when to gently skim the surface. I am the equalizer of polarities. Wow, is that a Gemini thing or what? I am the equalizer of polarities. Wow. Let yourself balance the rush of subconscious flow with the peace of equilibrium. Allow the experience of emotional catharsis, but do not forget to release the heavy entanglements. Feel your responses, but do not become overwhelmed. I am progress. I am growth. There is great healing in the waters. You are cathartic. You are exploring the depths. You are fluidity. You are duck. Wow, Aries. Amazing. An emotional catharsis time for you. Thinking in a new way and maybe reinventing yourself. That's what I'm getting from that. But allowing for your emotions to teach you. Maybe before you've always been very logical, or maybe you've just been going on impulse, right? Aries, you're a fire sign. You very often go on impulse. But the duck is saying those undercurrents, what's under the water, all of your intention and the emotional story you tell yourself about your life, that matters now. Okay, so today we're going to also be using the Shadowscapes Tarot. This is a gorgeous deck one of my favorite decks for artwork. It definitely inspires me, and I'm a Gemini in Gemini season, so I'm using the inspiration of the birds and this deck, which is, I would say, fantasy, and the watercolors are just stunning. I hope you like it. The Shadowscapes Tarot is by Stephanie Puimun-Law, as well as the book being written by Stephanie and Barbara Moore, one of my favorite tarot deck writers as well. All right, so let's do a few more shuffles for you, Aries, and we'll do a 9 card for you and see what's going on. Okay, we've got 2 cards that popped out. Okay. Well, you're conquering something here. That's amazing. All right, so since those popped out, I'm ready to actually cut the deck now. And we'll do your spread for the week of June 7th through the 13th. In Gemini season, we are still in Mercury retrograde and will be throughout the month of June. It actually will start going direct again at the around June 22nd after the solstice. We move into summer, the season of summer, and Mercury will begin to slowly move forward again. But of course, there will be a post-shadow period where it consolidates what we've learned in Mercury retrograde, the things that we've revised and gone over in our minds, and it helps us to actually integrate it, right? So Mercury retrograde is a really helpful thing. It helps us learn. It helps us learn through our feelings. It helps us learn our motivations and where we get in our own way, a lot of those things. So right now the energies are very strong, Aries. It's not just you, right? If we tell ourselves that when we're going through stuff, we feel so very alone when our emotions are overwhelming, or when we have decisions to make that are difficult, or that just problems that arise that are complicated, which I can see you have been going through some stuff. And I mean, you've got 3 major arcana here on the table right now. Let's pull your last card. Okay, yes, 3 major arcana. You've got some strong fire here. You have 1 sword card. And the swords in the suits of the tarot, the sword represents the intellect, and Gemini season is about our intellect, about our thinking. You only have 1 card. And that card is what you need to be working on, I think, Aries. The other cards are about successfully going into your fields and realizing how strong you've been. So let's go for it. The bottom of the deck is the 3 of Pentacles. The 3 of Pentacles, Aries, which is a card of cooperation and collaboration with others. It's when we're rebuilding something. It's when we've put effort into something, and it's taken a lot of our time and a lot of our effort, and now we're starting to see that the structure is beginning to come into place, okay? It's something that will last. It's something that's worth working toward. So you're working towards something. It's very worthwhile. And I think that meanwhile, while you're trying to get your life in order, doing something that's very likely brand new between these eclipses, I think that with the duck, you've been diving pretty deep. So the first card in this 9-card spread for this week, right now, for this new moon, when you're trying to revise your thinking in Mercury retrograde and learn from how our feelings inform us. They really inform us. And so I think this is a card of not denying your feelings. With the 7 of Swords, this is when we can be avoidant. This is when we can tell ourselves a pretty truth that isn't really a truth. It's just pretty. It's what we want to be true, but it's not necessarily true yet. So what we need to do is we need to conquer that with the 6 of Wands. We need to recognize when we're maybe in a bit of denial or lying to ourselves or just speaking to ourselves in a negative way and thinking that that's perfectly appropriate because things on the outside of your life might look like chaos. So you tell yourself the story, well, everything's gone wrong. That's the story. But that's the 7 of Swords story. That's the story that says, I'm not enough. All my opportunities have been taken. They've been. I feel like I've been stolen from. I feel like I'm in a state of confusion about what I need to do. And all my strategies have gone to pot, and I'm just not in the right place. It's when we really feel like we just want to run away and just take with us what we have and just avoid. What we actually need to do, which is recognize the worth of what our feelings guide us toward. Because then you have the Queen of Cups. This is the top line of your 9-card spread for this week. It's saying don't avoid these deep feelings. Look at this Queen of Cups. Is this beautiful? It's one of my favorite Queen of Cups of all time. The turtles for me represent time. They also represent land and water. So it's one of those things where they have multiple perspectives, don't they? They're comfortable in the water. They can come out on land and ground themselves. They have protection, a shell on their back. They take themselves with them wherever they go, and they're comfortable with it. That's kind of the Queen of Cups. She knows her feelings. She learns from her feelings. This very much, it represents water signs, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, diving into the depths of emotional mastery, emotional intelligence, the EQ, the other side of the Gemini coin. Because we've got IQ and we've got EQ. And in Gemini season, we're beginning something new with this solar eclipse. It's a beginning. It is a launch window, right? People call it a time portal, when you'll remember this time because there will be a change in your life. That happens during eclipse seasons. But it also happens when Uranus is in Taurus for a number of years, changing the old order to the new order of the way that we do things in society. So this is a big thing. And then Pluto, right, these outer planets, helping us moving into the Aquarian age, changing our mindset and allowing us to open our minds more with left and right brain and learning both from both. Learning that there's value from both. You're trying to do that. I think you've been trying to avoid what your feelings have been trying to teach you. You want to feel like this, Aries. You want to feel like a champ. You want to feel like you are conquering your negative thinking, your denial, your avoidance, maybe procrastination, I'm hearing. So this is saying go in your feels. Go deep. You're paddling hard. You're really making the effort here with the duck. But don't just skim the surface of things and avoid, right? It's saying go deeper here. That's the top line. Because you will succeed at it. Look at this. There's the laurel wreath here. Success. You will succeed at doing this, okay? It's not scary to go into your feelings, to own them and say, well, I've been down. I've been dejected. I've been depressed. I've been avoiding. I've been hiding myself from the life I actually want to have, the courage to live. And the reason I say the courage is because we have the Strength card with the Fool, which takes courage to take a leap of faith into something brand new. And then the Ace of Wands, that new thing that you desire to begin. You can see why I said that, right? The courage to live the life you want to live. So it's really, it starts with you. You know, a lot of people falsely believe that the outer things in their lives, the circumstantial things in their lives, need to change before they can change. It's actually the opposite. The wisdom in this is it's the opposite. When we go inside and we change the way we see things, we change our perspective. We acknowledge our feelings because they're the guiding lights, you know, in our guidance system. And they tell us where to go, and they tell us when we're really uncomfortable. And when we're really, really uncomfortable, we feel like this, like, okay, you know what? I'm starting over. I'm doing something brand new. I'm going to take a shot at it with the Fool. I'm going to take that leap of faith. And you know what? I'm strong enough to do this. I have the courage. I have the inner strength and the fortitude to stand up for what I really, really want. You have that in spades, Aries. You really do. You are the leader of the zodiac. Have you forgotten that? That you can lead your life? That the outside circumstances are just a reflection of of what you're perceiving, of what you're believing. What we perceive is what we believe is what we achieve. So if you're believing that life sucks, then that's all you're going to see. But if you believe that life is this beautiful, astounding gift, and that every moment of every day you have free will, the choice to take this risk, to go for your own joy, to live a life of depth and meaning, that's what I think you're searching for. And you'll find it with that 601 on the top and all these cards about having the courage. You will. All right? This is an opportunity, this Ace of Wands. That Fool is an opportunity. And those two cards right here, Strength and Fool, these are major arcana cards. And in the tarot, this is God consciousness. This is, you know, this is your connection to the source of light and life itself. This is big picture stuff. These other cards are your free will and what you're going to do with it. But that is an opportunity right there. That is the new moon in Gemini. And it starts with how you think about what you're attempting to do in life and your reasoning for why you're doing it, right? Why are you paddling so hard and what's under the surface? Okay, because Aries, you pulled your own card in your reading, the Emperor. Remember who you are, Aries? You are a self-motivated, self-driven, and self-accomplishing leader. Now, obviously, your rising sign, you know, your moon sign, your Venus, all of your astrology are pieces of the big picture puzzle. But your sun sign is very much about who you are attempting to be in the world as a personality. You are trying to find your sea legs so that you can lead your ship wherever you want to go. Okay? So that came with the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is when we stand with this one wand, we take this desire and we chart a course. The Two of Wands stand together. It's a pathway. It's when we stand in front of a path and we decide that we're going to go down the path. With the King of Wands, confident, taking action. All the kings take action. It's when you master your energy and you take action and go toward what it is that you're trying to do with your life, where you're leading your life. This is accomplishment, and it's beautiful. This is a gorgeous reading, Aries. It is. All right, so let's look at the lines vertically. Seven of Swords, Strength, and Emperor. So what we're telling ourselves in the Seven of Swords matters, because it takes all of our strength to be able to lead our own life the way we want to live. Remember, these two cards with the Emperor as well is a major arcana card. This is when life offers you the choice to be exactly who you want to be. So what it comes down to, and this is just recently, in the just recent past, what it comes down to is, have you been stealing your own energy with the Strength card? This can be about our physical strength and energy. Have you been stealing your own power? Has somebody been stealing it from you? Who are you allowing in your life? So, you know, it really comes down to, what is this Seven of Swords? The Seven of Swords means that you've had to strategize, because whatever has been happening in the past, trying to help strengthen you, trying to help you learn to lead your own life, whatever that's been going on, it has been sapping you instead of empowering you because of the way you're thinking. So now the next line in the now, the Six of Wands, conquering that, taking the leap of faith with the Fool down that new pathway. You can see that, right? This is taking your life in the direction you want to go. Okay, but it begins within. This is an inside job. I think I said that to you last week. I keep hearing that. Duck. right? What's under the surface of things? What's under the surface for you, Aries? Because Queen of Cups is about emotional sensitivity. It's knowing the wisdom of your emotions and learning from them. You know, all the queens are about our internal wisdom, our thoughts and feelings, and how we use our intuition, our inner strength to lead our lives. And it's saying to you that under the surface of things, there's some emotional healing happening. Real emotional healing. Ace of Wands. Because you want a change and you want something with excitement, and there's something you want to do here. It's really, there's something you really want to do here, like the King of Wands. The King of Wands takes action. He doesn't vacillate. He does not vacillate. He makes a choice as to what he wants, and he goes for it. And he does it in a way that actually is really inspiring, because he leads. He goes down his own path. And he takes charge of things and moves forward. Not with aggression, with confidence, with inner strength, with a type of, it's just a deep self-confidence. It radiates, right? It radiates. It shows to the outside world, I'm good. I know what I'm doing. Hey, follow me. I know what I'm doing. Let's do this, right? There's an excitement level, a level of enthusiasm, a level of mastery, the mastery of one's own energy. It's energetic. And it makes all of us feel energized to be around someone like this. So I think it might be time to go into the depths. Definitely assess what your feelings have been teaching you. And in this new moon, take this new opportunity to feel joy, to feel excited. The Ace of Wands is enthusiasm, excitement, and it's a new beginning. It's a new start. And that is right now, this week. This week. This kind of eclipse isn't going to happen again for another 9 years. Gemini season is about taking in information from both the left and right brain, from the IQ and the EQ, and putting them together in order to understand not just one's own perspective of the world, but to see other people's perspectives, taking others into consideration. That's why the Gemini is the twins. It's looking in the mirror, and every time you look at another person, you're looking in a mirror. When you see someone else's eyes, you see your own reflection. We mirror each other. We are all part of one humanity. We are all going through our own strengths and weaknesses. We all have hands to play. We play our cards the best we can. And when we do that together, when we weave our lives together, we strengthen each other. So Aries, I think that if you come to some type of emotional awareness about what it is that you really want, then I don't see any reason why you won't just do it. These are just do it cards. These are just do it. Do what it is that you want to do, instead of going into a mental cave and talking yourself out of, lying to yourself and saying, well, I can't, well, I don't think well, I probably won't. Don't steal your own joy, and don't let anybody else steal your joy either. If someone's saying, what are you, crazy? You can't do that. And you're like, yes, I can. Watch me. That's the title of your video, Aries. Watch me. For the new moon, solar eclipse in Gemini. This is going to take you far. You just have to do a little bit of emotional work. You have to do a little bit of going into your shadow. We have our light, the one we showed outside. We have our shadow, the inside part of ourselves. You know, the part of ourselves that we don't necessarily show others. That's the work that you need to do. And when you do this work, when you go inside, you face your fears. That's what shadow is. It's facing our fears, what we hold densely in our pain body, and releasing it and letting it finally go. And I think that process has been happening for you. I really think that it's been happening because Chiron is in Aries. And it has been for a year plus, year and a half, something like that. Chiron, the wounded healer, helping Aries come into this time of personal renaissance. And on this channel, you know, Sophquest, that is my word for wisdom questing. And what I mean by that is going on one's soul path for personal growth. That's why, you know, when you go to my page, my homepage, Sophquest, it says, you know, your personal renaissance. It's your personal journey. It's your personal growth, the Sophquest. And I'm just a voice in the wind to say, you can totally do it. You can totally do this. Okay? Watch me. Paddle on, my friend. Paddle on. All right. Thanks, Aries. I wish you kindness, reverence, and gratitude. Do please come back next week. We are going to talk about a pretty big transit that's going on with Saturn square Uranus, which has happened already this year once, happening again next week, and then again in December. It's a big deal, helping us change old versus new. It's big. So next week, I'll talk to you then about it, okay? So, and just, again, I wish you kindness, reverence, and gratitude. Go for it, Aries. You're worth it. Take care.